Welcome to Clear Picture Cares. I'm your host, Jason Noble, and with me today is the Chief Executive Gardener. Right? Never heard of that before. I love it, Katie. Katie Stagliano. Did I say it right?
Stagliano.
Stagliano. How did I get that wrong, Katie? Katie Stagliano.
Before.
I know, and the warm up, right? But then here I am live, and I don't get it right. Go figure. No, but Katie's Krops. The work that you're doing is absolutely incredible, and being a Summerville native, pretty cool, right? Seeing a growth so much over the time in Summerville.
Oh my goodness, so much growth. It's crazy. Like since we and my family and I moved here to now, our lives have changed so much, and I feel like Summerville and Charleston and just the whole Low Country has changed so much too.
Oh my gosh, it sure has. But let's get into Katie's Krops. Tell us, what is Katie's Krops?
So Katie's Krops is my nonprofit organization. We're a youth-based nonprofit, and our mission is to empower youth to start and maintain vegetable gardens and donate the produce to feed those in need, as well as assist and inspire others to do the same. So we get to work with so many amazing kids, and we are kind of a threefold. We work with our gardens. So we have gardens across the United States. They are all started and run by kids between the ages of 7 and 16. All of the produce is donated to soup kitchens, homeless shelters, and families in need. Wherever the Katie's Krops grower whose garden is, wherever they see the greatest need in their community is where they will choose to donate their produce. And then we have our flagship garden here in the Low Country. And within our flagship garden, we have our outdoor classroom. So our outdoor classroom is a place where we really just utilize the garden as a learning tool. We invite a lot of our partner organizations and educators like that, and use nature and all the beautiful plants growing and everything just as a way for the kids to connect with the outside and learn some amazing things while they're at it. And then our final arm of what we do is our Katie's Krops dinners. So these dinners are hot, healthy, fresh, and free meals for anyone in need in the community.
Wonderful.
And so we are able to prepare and serve over 700 meals every month. And along with the dinners that we serve directly to the guests, we also have a lieutenant in the sheriff's department who delivers to homeless encampments, and we deliver to those without transportation or who can't make it to the dinner.
So you're serving multiple purposes, is what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
You have between 6 and 17 gardening. So they're learning that kind of skill set and being one with nature. Zen-like environment.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the garden is the most peaceful place. And it's amazing. We have had kids take their first steps in the garden, say their first words in the garden. So like it's really an all-encompassing thing. And our core group of volunteers in our flagship garden are really between 1 and 10 years old. So these kids,
that's wonderful.
They grow up in the garden. They know it like the back of their hand. They're walking around. They're biting on a tomato like it's an apple. They're taking kale leaves and munching on them around. It is just the greatest thing.
That's awesome. So that's one thing that I picked up on. And then the other thing I picked up on is then there's also donations of what is grown to food, to like the food banks and soup kitchens, right? So there's that second thing. And then the third thing is then actually making meals for those that have food insecurity.
Yes. So we go full circle, which I absolutely love. So we get to actually, the kids and all of our volunteers get to plant the seeds, the seedlings, they get to tend to them, watch them grow, and then they get to make their donations with them. So they get to kind of see the people that they're helping. And additionally, we used all the produce from our gardens for our Katie's Krops dinners. So they get to also help with the dinners. So they'll help prepare the meals, they'll help distribute them. And so they're seeing the meals that the vegetables turn into, and then they're also seeing the people that they're helping to. So all in all, it's a crazy full circle thing. And it's really amazing for these kids to see that it doesn't matter how young or how old you are, you can make a tremendous impact in the community. And for them to be able to see that impact from a young age is great.
Oh, it's amazing. And so, okay, what's your website real quick?
Our website is katieskrops.com.
Okay.
It's on the shirt, Katie with a K and Krops with a K. So be sure to check it out to see how you can get involved.
Okay. And so let's go a little bit further. So you are the founder of Katie's Krops, Krops with a K. Now my sister, her name is Angela Carmen with the K Noble, so I love the K.
I
Right?
love it.
I love the K. But let's get into what was your drive and purpose and passion? How did this come about?
So the story of how Katie's Krops came about is insane, actually, to think about now. But when I was in the third grade, I got a tiny cabbage seedling. This seedling was this big. It was from the Bonnie Plants third grade cabbage program. I took this seedling, planted it in my backyard, and that tiny seedling grew to be a 40-pound cabbage. It was quite literally like this big. It was insane. I did not know vegetables could grow to be that big, let alone a cabbage.
Yeah.
And so here I was in the third grade with a 40-pound cabbage in my backyard. I was like, what am I going to do with this? Way too much cabbage for my family and I to eat. And every night before I sat down to dinner, my dad would always tell us just how fortunate we were to be sitting down to a healthy meal and how there are some families who go to bed hungry or rely on soup kitchens for what might be their only meal of the day. So I thought, what better thing to do with my cabbage than to donate it to these families? So my mom called around. She found an organization called Fields to Families, and they connected us with a soup kitchen called Tri-County Family Ministries in North Charleston. The line at the soup kitchen, there were families just like mine that had fallen down on hard times. And so I thought, I need to do more to help them. The director of Tri-County, Miss Sue, shared with us just how rare it was for them to receive donations of fresh produce and how they mainly got packaged and processed food. And so I thought, what better thing to do? I had so much fun gardening and growing this cabbage. What if I was to start my own garden and donate all the produce to Tri-County? So then I went home. I started a garden in my backyard. And then when I was in the fourth grade, I went to my school. And I said, here is what happened with my cabbage. I've now started a garden in my backyard. I want to start a garden here. And so when I was in the fourth grade, this is insane. My school gave me a plot of land the size of a football field. And they said, this is your garden. They're like, you can.
This is in fourth grade.
In fourth grade. They're like, you can do what you want with it. So started this amazing garden at my school. And then that is.
And like other students were getting involved.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Other grades as well. Were you influencing the upperclassmen, so to speak, in fourth grade?
So there was literally kindergartners, middle schoolers, high schoolers. They would bring the PE classes out. I remember the boys on the football team, they'd be like moving compost and stuff for us. It was amazing. It got everybody involved. And then after really getting them involved, the community became more involved and people from across the country began reaching out. And it really just snowballed into creating Katie's Krops. And now here we are 16 years later, which is insanity.
That's incredible. I started in third grade just because of a little seedling. And look at what that grew into, which is Katie's Krops. And you got to go to katieskrops.com so you can learn more. But like, I want to hear, like, you recently just had a big event. Yeah. Let's talk about that big event and some other things that go on throughout the course of the year.
So we recently just hosted our Katie's Krops Spring Fest. This was our second time hosting Spring Fest, so it was so much fun. And this is an event where we welcome people to our flagship garden. So they get to see our garden, they get to meet our volunteers, and they also get to meet all of our partner organizations because they join us in the garden as well. So it was a really fun community festival, family friendly. There was events and different activities for kids of all ages and for adults as well. We had seedlings that we gave away from Bonnie Plants. We had the master gardeners there offering advice. We had little baby chicks there for my friends at Chicken on Main. There was all sorts of different fun. It was just the best day. And it was a great opportunity for the kids to volunteer and even our adults who volunteered to show their families the garden. The little kids gave garden tours and they got to show just all of their hard work. It was the best day. We had over 350 attendees, which was amazing because you truly don't understand how big the garden is until you see it. It is, our flagship garden is about the size of 2 footballs.
Okay.
So it's like pretty major.
Yes. And But I picked up earlier as well is like there's other communities that are also involved in Katie's Krops. So this has spread like a really nice garden.
It has spread quite a bit. And so while our flagship garden is here in the Low Country, we are nationwide. And then we also have 2 gardens in South Africa as well. So it's
You're
quite
international.
yeah, I guess we are international. It's quite literally grown just like a garden, and it's been crazy to see how empowered these kids are and the impact that they're making in their own backyard.
Well, think about the impact that you made. You got this little seedling and you grew it, right? And just in that itself, got that big, and you're going, okay, what am I going to do with this now?
Yeah.
And it was all because it was a gift. It all started with a small gift that it was grew into what it is today. I just find that to be I don't want that to be lost on anyone that's watching and listening right now. It's like you have no idea what kind of impact you can make on someone's life by just doing a small gift and see where it goes. And now Katie's Krops is international and the flagship is here in Summerville. Do you have any stories that you like to share with us from the people that you serve?
I have so many stories. The people that I serve at Katie's Crop are quite literally my second family. The coolest thing, they've seen me graduate elementary, middle school, high school, and college. Like, they are there to celebrate everything with me. The Katie's Crops dinner guests celebrated my middle school graduation. That's the thing. High school graduation, college graduation, birthdays. Like, I have grown up with them. And so I've created such a special bond with them. And I have so many stories and so much love for them. We have been helping some of the same people for years and years and years. There is who was a little boy when we first started. When I first met him, he was 10, and now he's a full-blown adult. He has 2 kids. Like, it's just amazing to be able to see how people's lives change and to be there for the highs and for the lows of it. I think, oh my goodness, it's hard to pick, but I think one of my favorite stories is still from quite a long time ago. I think I was in middle school at the time. And I went to go talk to a vacation Bible school. And prior to talking to the vacation Bible school, I had donated some vegetables to one of the volunteers at the vacation Bible school because they were helping a family that was transitioning out of homelessness. And they were going to share the vegetables with them. And so I was talking to the kids. They were so sweet and so cute. And at the end, I was just sharing my story and I asked them if they had any questions. And this cute little girl raised her hand and she was like, I don't have a question. I just wanted to say that I think you're very nice. And she had a little sticker. It was like this big and it said love on it. And she came up and she gave me a hug and she showed the sticker like right where my heart was. And she was the little girl whose family was transitioning out of homelessness. And she had received the vegetables that I had brought to one of the volunteers. And it was just one of the most she was so sweet, so kind. And it was so heartwarming to know just that she was going to be in a better place and that she had enjoyed the vegetables that I donated. And it's just little moments like that, just small things. When dinner guests will come through the line and they're so excited to share things with us. We had one dinner guest who came through the line and the first time, probably like over 2 years ago, and she was just crying and crying because she was going through an incredibly food on the table. And this last Katie's Krops dinner that we had, she came to the dinner and she brought milk to share with our guests because she said, you helped me during a time when I didn't know what to do, and now that I'm back on my feet, I want to pay it forward. And it's just stories like that when people are like, you were able to help me and now I want to help others.
Yes.
It's what it's all about.
Absolutely. I love those stories. And I'm sure you have way more stories. And this is where, it's important for people to hear what you're saying here today. But I understand there's something that you guys are facing right now at Katie's Krops that you would like to get some help with.
Yes.
And then so then you could continue paying it forward. What's going on that you want to share with us?
So our Katie's Krops dinners, which I know I've talked quite a lot about. I love the dinner, but we are struggling right now because the need is greater than we've ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something where we are struggling to keep up with the growing need. We ran out of meals at our last Katie's Krops dinner, and this is something that I do not take lightly at all, because it absolutely breaks my heart to have to turn away people and say, I'm sorry, but there's nothing left. I have nothing left to share. These are people that we've been helping for years, and to just turn them away when some of them have waited in line for hours for a meal is something I never, ever want to have to do. And that happened at our last dinner. And so now we are determined to do absolutely everything we can to meet the need, to help those who are struggling, and to keep up with the growing demand for food in the community as people are really struggling right now. So we are asking the community for help. We could desperately use storage space, climate controlled storage space and refrigerated storage space in the Summerville area, so that we are able to store all of the items that we need for the dinner. We're able to accept more donations because we have a place to store it that will keep it fresh until we're able to serve it at the dinners. And so we're able to just continue to do more for the community. So desperately, desperately searching for storage so that we are able to have more items for our dinners, and also funding so we're able to meet this increasing need in the community. I never, ever want to have to turn anyone away from a dinner again. And so we would love any help and any support securing extra funding and securing storage space in the Summerville area. So please reach out to Katie at katieskrops.com if you're able to help us meet the growth.
We're going to have a link to your website underneath this video, but this is also going to be in podcast form. So Katie's Krops, Krops with a K.com.
Yeah.
Now, where do they go once they get onto the website if they wanted to make a donation, or if they wanted to have a conversation about meeting that need, paying that forward to Katie's Krops of having that space available with the climate control or the refrigeration? Like, where would they go? How would they go about doing that?
So when you go onto our website, there is a cute little pop-up that shares just a little bit about our need right now. So you can actually just click the button right there that says help with the need, learn more, or you can go to the contact us page. All of our information is on there as well. There's also a button at the top to donate, and you can kind of scroll through our website as well to learn more information, or you can always just reach out directly to Katie at katieskrops.com. Katie with a K and Krops with a K, so it's easy to remember. But our website is a great resource to kind of learn more information. And also, if you know of anybody who is facing challenging times right now, we have all of our upcoming Katie's Krops dinners on there. So if you know someone in the Low Country who could use a meal and you want to share their information with us to add to our dinner list, share the upcoming dinners with them, or if you know of somebody that lives within the Summerville area that cannot make it to a dinner, they have medical issues, they don't have transportation, you can reach out to our delivery coordinator to see about getting meals delivered as well.
Again, you're serving the community in so many different ways. You're giving back to the community with having children being in the garden and learning that skill and that lifelong skill. You're helping with soup kitchens. You're helping with dinners directly. That I got emotional hearing a story where you had to turn people away after waiting for hours, and that could be solved with the community stepping up and coming together to help with this. And I think that would be, if one person hears this conversation and it calls them to action, then we did a good job today. I was right.
So I do just want to say that I am so grateful for the support of everyone in the Low Country. You have truly embraced me, embraced Katie's Krops, embraced just my family, and we are so grateful for all of your support. I truly don't think that Katie's Krops would exist if I did not live in the Summerville area. and just did not receive all of that outpouring of love and support from everyone in the community. So thank you for helping us get to where we are today and for continuing to help us meet through.
As we wrap up our conversation, those who watch us on a regular basis knows I'm about to ask you my favorite question. If you could share with us the value of giving back to the community, what would that be?
I think the value of giving back, this is a tough one, but I think my favorite part about all of this is the ripple effect. And the ripple effect is when you give back, you truly don't know how many people you are impacting. Because it could be one small action. You could be giving a small basket of produce to someone who's in need. And a lot of times, no matter how in need that person is, they will share whatever small basket of produce you gave them, they will share with their friends and their neighbors who are also. So you never know how far the impact you are making, how many people you're reaching with one small action. And also, one small action can change your life, can change somebody else's life. I planted a tiny cabbage seedling, and I could have never imagined what would happen and the journey that would come from it and how my life would change forever. But now I cannot imagine my life any other way. So one small action, no matter how young or how old you are, you could be changing multiple lives, and you could be changing your own life too. You could find your passion. So you never know what can happen.
I mean, I love your answer. I love the answers I ask when I'm talking with those who are so engaged in the help in the community. It's that ripple effect. And like those that are watching, that was Katie from Katie's Krops. Amazing, right? Absolutely incredible. Started at third grade, and look where it's grown and blossomed to. I'm not the gardener in my family, but I am inspired to get out there and start gardening from this conversation.
It's the perfect time of year to do so. It's the perfect time to put your spring garden in.
Do that. Okay, you're going to see dirt underneath the nails next time. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Katie, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed our conversation.